All right. Happy Friday. Good big waves to you. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Come on, Mike. We waiting on you. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. Not really, though. Hey, hope everybody's having a great start to your day. I missed you yesterday. I was watching in on the Facebook Live. I love the message, Andrea. You and Myra laid out yesterday. So thank you for that. And we it's good to have a team, isn't it? You know, a supportive team. That's what it's all about. So our word for today, go ahead in your chats and the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Hey, Valerie Randall out in Wyoming. Let us know in the chats. But I'm going to open it up in just a second. Like really brief. So you got to have your thought cap on for just a minute, okay? Because our word this morning is empathy. Empathy as we end this Friday. And it was really, I say this a lot here lately, but this word was really good for me. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Are you a person that you go around day to day and you meet people and maybe it's loved ones, maybe it's not, maybe it's just acquaintances. But do you really feel their feelings? You know, Andrew Jackson's had surgery recently. Maybe it's Shane that broke a couple of bones. Like, do you feel it? Alfred Adler said, empathy is seen with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another. It's just, I want to tell you where this hit me. It's really easy to get swept up in just worrying about yourself. Me, myself, and I. But do we really walk through the day truly having empathy? Because see, we've all heard that the saying, walk a mile in another's shoes. I think we'd all raise our hand and agree to that. We've heard it. What it does, it permits people to understand the emotions that others are feeling. So who in your life, if I were to ask you right now, and this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to turn it to Andrea because she's going to talk about signs of empathy. But I want to listen to Andrea look at it from a standpoint of, I need to be doing these signs in my daily walk with the people around me. And what name comes to mind to you of somebody right now in your life that exemplifies empathy, that actually cares, listens, hears with the ears, feels with the heart? Anybody want to share a name? You don't have to say anything. Just Michael, John, Susie.
They'll have to raise their hand and let me know because I'll have to unmute
Okay.
them. So
put
I'm
it in the chats. Put it in the chats and the comments too. But Sandy McFarland, will you unmute? Let's unmute Sandy. What name comes to mind, Sandy? Madeline, what name comes to mind?
This is Sandy. Patricia comes to mind.
Patricia comes to mind. Mike Whitten, what name comes to mind? Can we unmute Mike? Okay, I'm causing Andrew to really work hard. Put it in the chats and the comments, please. Hey, Mike. James comes to mind. Andrew Jackson, what name? Let's unmute Andrew. Andrew, what name comes to mind? I want everybody. What name comes to mind?
Melissa.
Melissa comes to mind. Yeah.
Don, Anthony, I'm trying Moreland. To unmute you. John's trying to raise his hand, but it won't.
It's okay. We got enough time. We'll get to the ones we can get to. I hope everybody's got a name right now. Hope
I
everybody's got a
asked
little name.
everybody to unmute. So you guys, you're going to have to remute yourself when you're done, but everybody should be able to unmute. John, you're open.
Richard.
Richard comes to mind.
Dennis,
Anthony
come
Moreland.
Dora.
Who'd you say,
Coach,
Anthony?
I think you do.
Dora.
Dora comes to mind. Enos
Yeah.
comes to mind by Arlene. Cheryl?
Coach, I think you do. Yes.
Oh, I love you, Cheryl. Cheryl, I'll send you $20 later. Heel Blue.
Jim, my best friend, he's 84.
Jim, that's awesome. All right, we're gonna mute you up, but if you didn't get to say, put it in the chats, put it in the comments. Andrew, go ahead and mute. All right, guys, I know that was a little disruptive. Maybe you're watching in live on Facebook. We'd love for you to put in the chats and the comments, just the first name of the person. And then here's what I challenge you to do. Reach out to them today. If it's just via text and say, hey, just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you and really I appreciate you. Because I don't know about you. I think I do know about you, but I want to be the name. I want to be the name that somebody says, that somebody thinks. Don't you? If you're not on this call today, or if this thing happens somewhere else, can you imagine them going, John, Andrea, Michelle, Linda, Hill, Anthony, Eva Marie, Cheryl, Arlene, Madeline, Melinda, Sandy. I could go around the room. Don't we want it to be our name that's walking through life that people's identifying with empathy? So powerful word, Andrea. I'll turn it to you. Talk about signs.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for that, Coach. And, you know, sometimes we can get empathy and sympathy a little bit confused. I know that I can. So, you know, empathy means that we can feel how somebody else is feeling. Sympathy means we care, right? So, we kind of want to have both, but empathy is communicating that incredibly healing message that you are not alone. And that's Brene Brown says that. And I thought that was so powerful because sometimes, you know, we can walk around this world and we can think that we're the only one that's feeling what we're feeling, right? Like things might feel a little chaotic, or we might feel a little bit stressed, or whatever it may be. And we might think that we're the only one walking down that road. But empathy allows us to see that there's people surrounding us, right? And don't we want our people, like the ones that we love, like all these faces on here, don't we want them to feel that love and that connection and that we're there with them? So what I'm going to talk about today are some signs that empathetic people exhibit or have. And so we all can learn. This is actually a skill. This isn't something that we're necessarily born with. And if we have it, we have it. And if we don't, we don't. This is something that we can all work on every single day. So I know when I was reading this, my toes hurt, but I'm going to work on it so we can all get better, right? We can all improve. So first of all, some signs that you are an empathetic human is if you're really good at listening to what other people say. People often tell you their problems. Like, you ever think, you know, like, why am I the one that people call when they have a problem? Well, then you are probably a really empathetic person. And I can think of a gentleman on here that gets a lot of those calls and very, very empathetic. You're good at picking up on how other people are feeling. So maybe you just walk into, say, a coffee shop to meet a girlfriend and you sit down, and within just a couple of seconds, you're like, what's going on? Right? Like, how are you? They say fine, right? They say all the right words, but you can just feel something that maybe something's just a little bit off. You often think about what other people are feeling, right? And I think I see this with Zooms. Like, I'll be on here and I'm like, Bob isn't his normal perky person, or maybe Starling didn't give his shout out. And I'm like, I wonder how he's doing today, right? When one of these faces is missing, what's going on in their life today? Where are they, right? People often come to you for advice. Now, this can be a downside of it. You often feel overwhelmed by tragic events. And this can be a big shortcoming for somebody that's too empathetic. Maybe they don't tune into the news. Maybe they don't offer to help when they should because the feelings are too overwhelming. You try, though, if you're truly empathetic, you try to help people that are suffering. You're good at telling when people aren't honest. You can really, really feel those lies. You sometimes, these empathetic folks sometimes feel drained in social situations, right? You see those people that are those extroverts out there that get in a crowd and they gain all this energy. And then the introverts and maybe people that fall on the empathetic side of the spectrum, they're exhausted after being in a big crowd. Empaths care deeply about other people. But lastly, if you're empathetic, you may struggle creating boundaries with people around you because it's kind of an ebb and flow. You feel them and they feel you, and it's all just kind of one big melting pot. So I think that this world could use a little bit more empathy. I know that I could definitely focus in this area a little bit more, but man, do I love this community and all that we share with each other. So thank you so much for this today, Coach. This was a good word today.
Nice message, Andrea. And I think we would all say on here that you're empathetic. You're somebody that a lot of people call on. So guys, it's been a good week, and go out and have a great weekend. We love you. We appreciate you, and we'll see you back on Monday. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy
Thanks, man.
Friday. I forgot it was Friday.
Happy Friday.
Thanks for sharing the word.
You guys have a great weekend.
Thanks for sharing, Dave.
Bye.